So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends and Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, fabulous viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you guys finally found me. Here I am. Here you are. I hope you guys stay and that these readings do resonate for you guys. If this reading doesn't resonate, there are a bunch of videos in the playlist, and you can go check that out and see if any of those do resonate for you. And for those of you guys returning, I'm so grateful, so blessed to be here doing your reading. I can't wait to get into today's reading. It's going to be exciting. We're using all these decks. Okay, so I'll put a link right here for those of you guys interested in these decks. Specifically, if you are a reader and you collect these, then I do have a playlist where I do the deck reveal flip throughs for a lot of these so that you can intimately sort of connect with the deck. And it does help me to sort of do your reading energetically. Okay, now, beautiful angels, this reading, we're taking a look at the person on your mind and what it is you have not yet seen, understood, or what is hidden from you about this person. Okay, so there might be many things, but this will be the most sort of prominent thing that Spirit is wanting to communicate to you regarding what you still don't see or understand about this person. So like a hidden truth. Okay, now this person, you might come for specifically the person on your mind, and then we'll pull someone completely different. Okay, I have no control over that. It's going to be the strongest energy pulling through, which means you might be tapping into your own energy, and maybe it's your high self revealing certain aspects of yourself. Okay, don't dismiss it, but don't force it to fit. This should be something that resonates with the intuition and not with the mind and wishful thinking or any sort of shadowy parts of you. Okay, if you're heavy in shadow, that means the intuition is still a little wonkadoodle. And the way to develop your intuition is to work through your shadows, and then of course to challenge yourself to question, is this intuition, is this fear, what is this that I'm sensing and feeling right now? Only you could do this. No reader can do that for you. Readings are solely based on your intuition. Okay, reflecting back to you a state of consciousness. So if the reading does not resonate, go check out another pile and don't force the reading to fit. Okay, not every single reading is going to be for every single person. It should be the overall energy in that pile that resonates with your intuition. Okay, so if we get the person on your mind, which is what I'm intending, great. If you get someone else, you don't have to listen. If you get yourself, you could certainly listen to that pile if you feel that there's something there. Okay, but like I say, don't force yourself to sit there throughout something that you don't feel you're wanting to listen to. Okay, so beautiful angels, these are the decks I'll be using. I'll put a link here to the deck flip throughs, and we will pull 3 cards from this Sacred Rebels. And at any point, you can select from the timestamp to get into your reading. Okay, I will see you guys at the pick a card. Beautiful angels, let us pull the 3 piles for these picks. Okay, or the 3 picks for the piles, I should say. We're looking at the person on your mind and the truth revealed. So something that you are unaware of, maybe the severity of something you might already know. It could be a complete thing that you don't know that's hidden from you intentionally. It could be something you misunderstood. Okay, but either which way, it's going to provide some clarity around the person on your mind. And like I mentioned, it could certainly be an aspect of self. Okay, so I don't control that. Go check out another pile. If you're here to hear about your person, then go to another pile. Okay, so clear and concise message here for the collective, pile 1, and pile 2, Spirit, for the person on their mind, and pile 3, person on their mind, and what is the hidden truth. Okay, we're only doing 3, thank God, because like I mentioned, my body is detoxing, and I'll be in a world of sneeze for this reading. If you don't like sneezy wheezy, might not be your reading. Okay, so 3 options. I will reveal these shortly, okay? If you are already called to one of these intuitively, then I'll put a timestamp down below. It'll take you directly to your pick. Okay, now use your intuition, whichever one calls you in. You can close your eyes, open your eyes. You'll be pulled to one of these. I know they all kind of look the same, but if you have a difficult time, do ask Spirit for what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether the pile is for you throughout the card layout. Okay, that's why I include the card layout. Otherwise, you can go straight away to your channeled message. Okay, let's reveal these 3 options, beautiful people. Option number 1, we have card number 42 or the number 6 with the world wants to be written. Wow. The world wants to be written. Okay. Option number 2, we have dream a beautiful dream with card 19 or number 10. Dream a beautiful dream. Option number 3, we have seeing the true you. Oh my goodness, 29 or the number 11. Seeing the true you. Wow. Okay. So these are the 3 options. Okay. It's absolutely fine to be called to multiple. That's definitely possible. Okay. There could be you, person you came here about, a different person. There's different aspects. Okay. We're not 2-dimensional beings. There's many sort of aspects, many truths that might be revealed here. Okay. So keep an open mind, but not so open that your brains fall out on the floor. All right, beautiful people. So I'll leave this with you. And when you're ready, select from the timestamp down below, and I will see you guys at your pick. Beautiful angels, pile number 1, you guys picked the world. Oh my goodness. The world, the word. The word wants to be written. I can read and I can write and I could put words together. I honestly thought this said the world wants to be written. I was like, wow, that's kind of presumptuous, but it's the word wants to be written. So I'm having a hallelujah moment. Interesting. When I was putting your cards together before I even saw this card, what was coming through was choice. There's a choice here. And I was getting that with the back side of this card, which is Gemini. Okay, but anyway, we're going to lay these cards out. Okay, I apologize. I'm sneezy, wheezy. I'm detoxing. My body is sneezing. Okay, so I'm going to try channeling this as best I can, but the word wants to be written. So this card is all about us fulfilling someone else's sort of expectation of us. Okay, so through childhood, socially, traditionally, however we've been brought up, we have an understanding of self, and there's another understanding in regards to what your authentic self is dying to do. Okay, but I feel like for this group, this could certainly be a self pile, okay, or this could be about your person, because whoever's energy I'm reading here, I do feel there's still a person here that's filling someone else's expectation of them. So this could be the dualistic 2 that I keep feeling here, okay, because 2 is all about duality, and we always have a choice. But if we're asleep, then we don't know we have a choice, and so we're running out of the subconscious. And so I do feel like someone here is running from the subconscious, or they're running their life on autopilot of sorts. Okay, we see a bunch of butterflies. Sorry, I know my channeling right now is really choppy, but these butterflies are all about transformation and liberation. Okay, there's a bunch of different ones here. I feel like there's many aspects in regards to this person that wants to be free. Okay, now the word wants to be written. So it's like the truth of this person wants to be shown to the world so they could be set free. Their purpose. Okay, so let's see. You can go straight away to the channeled message if you don't want to sit throughout this card layout. This could be choppy and don't guarantee anything. Okay, so we have Gemini. Interesting, because Gemini is the ruling planet's Mercury, which is about word, spoken word. It's also about thought. So Gemini, I think. Now, this person doesn't have to be a Gemini, neither do you, in order for this to resonate, okay? But something about communication is coming through, and mind. So we also have Lapis Exilis with 45, with this golden river, number 9. Wow. So golden stream, and then we see a golden light to the third eye. Master your mind. Interesting. We have order. Moon in Virgo. Number 6. 6 is the number of Gemini. Lovers, which is again the number of choice. Order. Okay. I'm also feeling some Virgo energy. Well, I mean, we do have Virgo here, but from this order structure, and we were getting Mercury here. Oh, this was also a 6. 42 is a 6. Interesting. So 6s are problem solving, compassion, harmony, community. It's also about love, healing, and service. Okay, so more Virgo sort of energy pulling through, but that is 6s, the lovers, also the devil. So we got some Gemini Capricorn energy. And we have flattery. Mercury in Gemini, so more Gemini energy. Is that Mercury? No, Venus. My goodness. Sorry, like I said, it's going to be a choppy channel here. 3. Okay. Flattery. Lots of Gemini energy, you guys. Courtship. 4. Getting that lover's energy with this courtship. 2 people sitting on the bench here. And we have constancy. Constancy. Okay. Is that a form of consistency? We'll channel that. And we have this person with a net trying to catch dollars. So dollars could symbolize the material world. Something here coming through again, our purpose, maybe like our career or what we do for a living. So I'm just trying to catch something here with the net, okay? And then we have this dancer, 13. 13 is Scorpio energy. It's also this number 4 energy, which is Aries. Aries is about empowerment, but it could be giving this work energy again, you know, the boss, applying herself, which is really coming through. Okay, Spanish dancer. She's looking a lot like this dancer over here. And butterflies we're pulling through with this transformation energy. So lots of Scorpio and lots of Gemini and Virgo. And some Capricorn. Okay, and then we have heart. Wow, 24. So we have 42, 24, which is a mirrored number, another 6. Wow, okay. And then we have denial, number 10. Wow. So denial is pretty straightforward. 10 is all about completions, ends of cycle. It's also the number of transformation, which is coming through at 13 in the butterflies. All right, but 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, which is something destined. Okay, and also the sun, which is enlightenment, which is getting with this golden river and this gold light going to her third eye. Okay, I say her, whatever this energy is. We have the first house with the body. Well, I was getting a lot of material here, wealth. Okay, so that would definitely be like the body energy, because that would be more of like the 3D aspect here. So first house is all about self, appearances, beginnings, okay, first impressions, our attitude, our identity, which is really coming through this, you know, who are we pretending to be, or whose life are we living? It's also the approach to life, the first house, okay? So 25 is number 7. So we have some chariot energy, which is Cancer, a balance. I was feeling the twos. Remember, I said choice. So there's the two, which would be balance, choices, and duality. Okay, also Tower energy with the 7. So that's deconstructing the false self. This messaging is very clear, even though I'm under the weather. 92 or 2, again, the 2s keep coming through. Balance, duality, choices, partnership. Okay, partnership as well. Contrast and polarity. So this is humbleness, clear vision of your value, modesty, realism, respect, gratitude, and right place. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. This is the root chakra. And we have 28 and 1 with clarity. Oh my goodness, you guys, look at this clear vision of your value, clarity, quest for answers, ego level, concept of perfection, moral consciousness. Sorry, it just says moral conscious. Critical look, inner listening, access to pleasure, social involvement. Type 1, the perfectionist, instinctive center between control and letting go. 28, which is a 10, which is a 1. And 1 is magician energy, which you're feeling Mercury, Virgo, Gemini again. And this is all about communication and thought, also about manifestation. And manifestation is as above, so below. So we create in the 3D world from the ether something here, like our purpose. What are we creating and whose story are we living? Interesting. Forgiveness, 9, Virgo energy, and also some Cancer energy. Okay. Hermit and Moon, happy event, growth level, forgiveness, admitting fault, active mercy, clemency, apologies, gracefulness, reconciliation. Type 9, the peacemaker, instinctive center between forgetting and asserting oneself with the solar plexus. And then we have candle, you will be shown the way. And we have envy, 36, or the number 9 coming through again. I think I need to cover this because YouTube overlords get their panties in a busy tizzy for shizzy. All right, let's do this. I think, yeah, sorry. Someone's sending me messages. Is this important? What is this about? Okay. It's important, but beloved can wait. Okay, so beautiful angel, you can skip ahead to the channeled message. This flattery is really fitting with this NB here for some reason. Okay. Thank you. The twins, interesting, and we have the twins right here somewhere. Okay, pile number 1. I know I'm under the weather, like I mentioned, but this reading is very clear, and I'm sorry if I'm a little choppy when I deliver this message, okay? So you came here about the person on your mind. I don't know who this person is, okay? But it should be you, someone in your vicinity. I don't know. Strongest energy pulls through. I think for a lot of you, this might be your energy. Okay, there's a great purpose for this person. They don't see it. They don't see it. And maybe you see it in this person. Okay, of course, if it's you, then you won't see it. Okay, so this person that I'm tapped into has a great, great purpose that is being pulled from within them for them to trust themselves enough to pull their purpose off. But in order to do this, they have to deconstruct what's already built on shaky ground. And this shaky ground is stories, beliefs, identities of who they've been constructed to be over time. And so they're not fulfilled. Okay, they're not fulfilled. They're filling someone else's agenda. This would be like going to school to become a doctor, but we really want to be a painter, you know? But we don't know this, and we really are still trying to make the doctor work. And it's not that they're like knowing this and like you know, miserable in that aspect, saying, oh, everyone wants me to be a doctor. They're really like believing they're a doctor. Like they're in denial, and there's nothing wrong with believing that, but there's a greater purpose. And so this person is going on a journey, okay? A journey of awakening. And this awakening is the divine providing this person with what they need in order for them to trust letting go of the way they're currently engaged in the world and manifesting, so that they can manifest something more aligned with their purpose. And so this takes a lot of confidence in the divine, confidence in our ability to trust that when we let go and let God, that we can align ourselves better and we don't have to chase or struggle, that wherever this person is being led is for their greatest and highest good. Okay, so the only way to get clarity is to not cling, attach, and listen to the fear. And so this person's mind is a little bit clouded, but I feel like the divine definitely is showing this person through whatever means. And there's also something coming through. Okay, so choice is coming through. Okay, and then there's the two, which I really feel, because we're seeing twins and twos are really prominent here, which I really feel is like the false self and then the authentic self. But of course, we know there's only one. It's the authentic self that's clouded by the mirage or the identity that the ego creates. And so the ego is creating this identity that has its own sort of way of engagement. It needs to be deconstructed in order for the true self to sort of flourish. The true self is always there and has always been there, clouded by conditioning, programming, and egos and identities that we create to protect ourselves or just to get along or to fit in or to become one of society or one of the family, a tribe member. So this person isn't living their greatest potential, and they're on a spiritual journey here. Some of these people, it does tie into some form of a partnership here. We're seeing two people. The Geminis, the twins, it says here too. So I don't know. This person could definitely be on a twin flame journey of finding self-purpose, because these twin flame journeys, okay, I don't care about the label. I'm not here about labels at all and words, just like calling a bird a bird. A bird's not a bird. There's a million, bazillion different species of bird. So to call it a bird would be watering it down. Same with the twin flame. Okay. So what I'm saying here is the type of experience this person is having, which I'll put a word of the twin flame experience, is all about finding self-purpose and getting closer to the divine. The divine is the truest version of self because we're an extension of the creator. So when we tie into our essence, we have found our pure self, which is closer to the divine. This person could certainly be on a twin flame journey of self-realization. Why they've been triggered into an awakening or a twin flame connection or a wake up from the divine that might be disorientating or that might be calling this person to take action, then this person is sitting in some form of in denial, okay? And they don't know it yet. And so maybe we don't know that this person is in denial, that they might still be sort of, I don't know, either maybe focused on the connection, maybe doubling down on the doctorism. Okay, but there's something that makes this person unhappy in their life. And so this journey isn't about the partnership. Okay, the partnership could certainly be a part of the journey, but that's not what this journey is about. This journey is about alignment with the essence of who this person is that speaks to their heart. And I feel like this person is trying to chase right now chase their happiness, chase their stability, chase their purpose in a way, And it's like, what is for you doesn't need to be chased. What is for you will come through when we let go of what's not for us. And so this person might still be under the illusion that they are the doctor or that they are doing something that's aligned right now and that they got to do it more. Or they might, double down, like I said, commit more to it. It's like the more I sort of do it, then it'll be better for me, right? It's like, no. And so I feel like also this person is doing something that they're telling themselves is for the greater good. And I don't know if it's the greater good of the family, the greater good of collective, the greater good of them, but that's a big farce. Okay? So I'm saying it like it's you, like I'm cracking some illusion here, because I think for a lot of you guys it is, but maybe this is your person, okay? Like they really, really are telling themselves it's for the greater good of something, and it's not. I don't care how many times they say, I'm a unicorn, and eat the grass. Doesn't make them a unicorn. And so whatever they're doing, a doctor is highly virtuous, right? I'm a doctor. I'm healing people. How could that be bad? It's like when you're not in line with your greatest, truest essence and purpose, it's not that it's bad, but you're doing a disservice to the universe, because your position would be to be a painter and to invigorate and inspire from the heart space differently. And yes, although healing people is definitely a calling and a purpose, but what good is it if we're not living to our fullest potential and living from our heart space just to check off a box or to make money or to say this is for the greater good? So there is this painting it in a way that's saying it's for the greater good, or that I'm like doing a service here, or I'm keeping some sort of law and order. And so Spirit's also coming through with like guidance here as well, even though maybe you can't really give it to this person if you are like if this isn't you. But this guidance is that the direction and the way to nurture and foster this pivot is going to work out as long as there's a letting go and a deconstruction and an acceptance. Everything else will sort of grow organically and naturally and perfectly. Like there's this it's like when we're aligned with our purpose, there's nothing to do, but when we're not, it's like tiring, exhausting. We're chasing our tail, we're exerting ourselves. And so that's the flip, is like one is smooth, aligned, feels right, and isn't exhausting, and the other is like tiring, exhausting, and then whatever, and then we convince ourselves that's where we need to be. And so I feel like there's a lot of ego sort of coming through with this envy and this solar plexus energy and this need for honesty, because we're still on the high horse of what we're doing here. I think this person has invested a lot, and they don't want to admit the truth that where they're invested right now is misaligned for them at the end of the day. And the minute they sort of admit it to themselves and see it, and this is why the shadow is very strong, it's like the shattering of the ego is going to be like instant, and that is very painful. And so this twin flame connection, okay, or this mirror that they've been shown by the divine, however this is coming through, I do feel it's through a relationship or some sort of spark, is really in this person's life to have a wake up, shake up of this, close out who they're not, and allow themselves to flow to their purpose. This person is really wrapped up in the identity of what others are going to think of me and how I've always thought I needed to be. And so come hell or high water, I want to do that thing that I said that I would do. I'm going to sneeze. I got to blow my nose because I'm wheezy and sneezy. Sorry. There's a lot of ego, because the ego's trying to protect this person to get with the tribe, to get along. The ego always wants to protect us, so it's doing its job. It's trying to keep this person safe, safety, which there's nothing wrong with being safe and secure in the material realm. But that means we're really attached to body. We're really attached to 3D, so much so that we're sacrificing our spiritual growth, our heart's contentment, the deeper essence of who we are, to fulfill some agenda in the matrix, to keep some home together, or to keep something that's just is going to peter out, because manifestations in the 3D world come and go. They're not forever. Essence is forever here. And so this person's lesson, growth, and communication from the divine is very clear. It's their purpose. Look at this beautiful golden light. And it is smooth. It's like so smooth. And I think this person maybe might think that there'd be too many twists and turns, or that it would be difficult, or that road is going to be like this road, just with other obstacles and challenges. And so I might as well just stay here, because at least here there's no loss. It's like, no, the other road is smooth. There is no effort. There's no effort when we're aligned with our purpose here. So I don't know necessarily that there is an imposter syndrome here, but there is an ego of who this person thinks they have to be in order for there to be acceptance and a welcoming of their community, their environment, or their family, or even of themselves, so that they could be welcomed and safe and secured. And that's not true. That's an illusion. And so there's fear on the other side of that. And so this person is on a journey of clarity, which comes through a lot of experiences that are uncomfortable. And the more we sort of cling to the identity that we create, the more painful it is. So the tower is deconstructing, which is the false self, and the need for this person to, because there is this forgiveness coming through. And I really feel it's like once we accept the shift or the welcoming of the self, rather than resist or fight, or try to deny or suppress it, or convince ourselves otherwise, then we're aligned with something smoother. So if this person is making all sorts of excuses here to you, okay, if provided this isn't you, you could be making excuses if this is you. Hope this makes sense. But if this person's making all sorts of excuses why they can't, won't, and I don't know what the purpose is, it doesn't show me the purpose, it's aligned with their heart. Maybe the purpose is a partnership, the twin flame, a lover's union here, a reconciliation. It's like, no, I must, do this monastery, or I must stay here in this community, or I must, no, there is no must. And I feel like this person feels like the more they sort of align themselves with that, it's like, then this whole thing will go away. And I also see them maybe praying. Okay. Like they're leaning in the wrong direction is all I know to say. It's like they're praying that when I lean in that direction, or like the one that they think that they want to run smooth. Meanwhile, that's not aligned. And it's not because they don't like the other path, which they haven't tried, by the way. It's because the fear is great here of what that would mean. Because the reality would come like a ton of bricks here, that this person has been resisting and fighting. This person is being supported by the universe, is being supported most likely by you, if you're this other person in this person's world. This person can have curly hair, by the way, like really curly hair. Or like an afro is coming through as well. Or like to wear headpieces, which also came through, like scarves, or like hats, traditional garb, something on their head. I'm seeing headbands. So this person is what we don't know here, okay, is that the divine is coming through really, 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 really strong with this message, that the divine is trying to get this person to see the light and is going to turn up that dial. And we might think, well, it's a hopeless cause, or it's never going to be seen. Okay. And of course we have free will and conscious choice to stay sort of asleep in the matrix chasing. But when we hit point a point of suffering or a point of dissatisfaction or a point of it still hasn't been fulfilled and I've prayed enough. I've prayed and prayed and prayed and hoped it all away, and still I feel incomplete or exhausted or tired, or I haven't seeked it yet. At some point, this person will have no choice but to accept what is truly them. And that's what Spirit is talking about, is that this person is going to come into this realization. And so it doesn't matter if they are running or resisting, fighting, suppressing, or denying a greater truth. This person is in their mind a lot. And this person is really being called to manifest in the 3D something spectacular in the 3D that's coming from the ethers, but it's aligned with their purpose and their heart space and something that truly matters. And it is going to be of value here to the collective. Once they're clear, they're guided, it is smooth. There is nothing sort of rough here. The roughest part is this part. And so if they're wanting to create a business or follow their heart or be honest with themselves, it's just a matter of doing it. That's the hard part. The actual doing of the thing is the easy part. But they don't know this. And there's a lot of fear. All right, well, let's see with the tarot, because I do feel some of you guys, it's you. Okay, Spirit, what's going on here? So I heard really loud choice when I put these cards together. There is a choice, The choice is, do I stay asleep in a world here that's tiring, where I feel like I'm actually not really being honest with myself deep down? There's an intuitive knowing that there's something greater that's less of suffering and less resistance or force that will come easy and naturally. I think they know this. Okay, but again, denial. So it's like, I know it, but do I really? Spirit, for pile 1, what am I missing here? Because I feel like I'm not delivering this thing in the way that I should. For pile 1, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Person on their minds and what it is, that's the truth that's yet to be revealed or understood by pile number 1. What is the truth that's yet to be revealed about the person on pile 1's mind? 2s again, 2 cups. Wow, look at this partnership. Following their heart, something that makes them truly happy. This could be the soulmates, okay? Soulmate could be anything really, but it's like our truest alignment, what gives to our heart and what we give to it. So if we're aligned with the our greatest career or our greatest pursuit and passion, then it gives back to us equally, in equal proportion. The right partnerships, it's complete like reciprocity here, balanced. 9 wands, they're fighting against this thing and they're exhausted and they're tired. Wheel of Fortune, which we were getting with the card layout, like I said. So this is this person's destined path. Okay, the universe is really guiding this person. They're really, really being called to this. They're being shown the way here. Unless they put a cog in, or a spoke in, a stick in the spoke, and the wheel gets stuck and stunted. Look, Ace of Pentacles. They're getting in the way of this manifestation in the 3D world. Yeah, because they're in their comfort zone and too held back, clinging to what they know. And so this is the miserly card. I will cling to what it is that I know, which is exhausting, tiring. It's tiring to hold this position. I'm held back. I'm too fearful to let go of this because the unknown is scary, even though I might be very miserable here. But I have some thought in my mind that I'm hanging on to, that this is where I belong, at the expense of true manifestation of something beautiful, fulfilling. King of Swords in reverse. So this is that Mercury energy I was feeling with the mind. King of Swords in reverse. Unfulfilled in the heart space. Doing things in motion. And maybe being completely illogical even. Like so logical we're illogical, because it's now just more of a motion of doing, which makes no real sense here. What's the purpose of it all? If we're unhappy, or a relationship, if we're unhappy, then the whole point of a relationship is to be emotionally fulfilled and not to check some other box. And I feel like there's some sort of box checking that we're doing that's going against the purpose. Eight Swords. Yeah, Eight Swords. So prison of the mind, it's the egoic beliefs that we hold that keep us in place and make us feel like we're stuck. There's the denial cards, Seven Swords, and there's the Five Swords, creating conflict in our world. So is this your person, you guys, or is this you? I want to know, because this energy comes through my readings quite a bit. Even if you're new here, it could be the energy frequency that you're in. And I've read for this energy, and it could be your person, the Empress under that. This person is being called to give and receive love from the heart space, a love of their passion, their career, to a person that's actually aligned with them without resisting, fighting, and surrendering to the process. But they're too busy in the matrix world. What if this? What about grandma? What about the dog? Who's going to pay the bill? What about the house? What about... Okay? All they're being called to do. Now, I'm not saying this is everybody's journey. Okay? So I don't want to hear that, because this is for this pile specifically. I am not saying that we got to throw caution to the wind and always just follow your heart towards whatever. This person is being shown by the divine clear messages, and they might still be doubting it, that maybe they're the ones that aren't being shown. No. There's no doubt here. This person is being shown a greater purpose. They have a path. And they are too fearful to move in that direction because of their own mind story, keeping them stuck, safe where they're at. But the safe of where they're at is actually not safe, because it's tiring and it's immobilizing, and it's not allowing this person to grow, and it's at the expense of their heart. They're not happy, and they're lying and telling themselves all sorts of reasons why they got to be here. And I think some of them is this virtuous story of why they got to stay there. No. It's actually Five Swords. Except it's Five Swords. Even if it's like I said, like, oh, but I'm this doctor, or I'm paying the bill, or I'm doing the greater good for the family. How is it the greater good when we're completely detached and removed and materialistic? That does no one good. Nobody is going to learn anything positive by this. It's not virtuous. It's not. We could paint it 50 ways from Sunday. And so this person is actually having to experience what this true alignment look like for them, because it's their time. And they're fighting it. But they're going to enjoy the other side, and they're going to say, ooh, why didn't I do this sooner? But it's the process of letting go and trusting and becoming very clear, because I feel like this person isn't very clear right now. The only thing that's kind of in their minds and that they're seeing and understanding is actually untruths. And that's really loud, and that's painting the story, and that's also giving the roadmap to their action. So when I have a roadmap that's like a mirage or an illusion, I follow that roadmap, but it's leading me in all sorts of ways that are like directionless. And until I undo that illusion, then I'm not actually seeing the roadmap. Like, this person is being shown a roadmap of where to go and how to get there, and it's an easy flow. And so as long as they're feeling heavy, restricted, held back, tired, resistant, fearful, making stories, feeling emotionally depleted, not fulfilled, as long as they're there, then they're just giving into the false roadmap, the lie, the egoic story of where they got to be, and they're propping that up. And I feel like you might be, again, if this isn't you like this, then you might be the recipient of this person's Five Swords, because it's like, I know a greater truth here. But the thing that you weren't aware of or don't see or know is really, because this is the part that's coming through really strong, is how much the divine is actually here involved heavily, that this person has no choice. Like, they don't just disappear, this person is here, and this person is going to be seeing this light, regardless of, they might be looking down right now or not wanting to see it. Look at this Ace of Wands and this candle. It's like the inspiration to take action and move in that direction is coming. They're really, really clinging and holding back. So pile 1, interesting reading. This is your reading. I don't think there's anything else here that wants to come through, but we have Gemini, very heavy here. Okay. Libra, also heavy with the 2s I'm seeing everywhere. And Aquarius. Okay. And all the other signs that I sort of mentioned, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, and some Scorpio and some Aries. Yeah. So, beautiful angel, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. Let me know in the comments. Was this you? Was this your person? All right. Bye-bye. Gorgeous angels, pile number 2. You guys pick card 19. Dream a beautiful dream. Gorgeous. So this is all about beauty. Okay. But it's like a true beauty, a beauty from the inside out. And so we're taking a look at the person on your mind, who you came here about, and what is this hidden truth? What are you not seeing? What don't you know about this person? Okay. And this could certainly be a miss on your end, or just the intensity of something that maybe you're missing. But whatever this is, Spirit's going to come through with a message for you. Okay, now I do intend on it being the person on your mind, but sometimes we get our own energy and I cannot help that. So if you want to see the person on your mind, maybe go check out another pile. Okay, so best way to see if this is your messaging is to sit through this card layout and ask Spirit for what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this is your pile or not. Okay, if you want to go straight away to the reading, you can click on the timestamp. So 19 is the card of the sun, which I'm feeling Leo energy. Brightness. Wow, look how similar these cards are from 2 different packs. This is 40. Leadership. Lightship. I can't read. Lightship Earth. A lightship Earth. Wow, look at all these people observing this globe. Something about light is really coming through here. Okay, 10. Wow, 10 is the sun as well. Okay, my goodness. 10th house, house of the ambitious. So I'll let you guys read that. So, I mean, wow, this is intense, you guys, because reputation, public image, masculinity, men, fathers. So men, and with the sun here, masculine, but like all these people are sort of observing. Is this person famous? Social expression. Aquarius, I know. Wow. 23 or the number 5. Okay. Then we have 21 with family room. And we have the sculpture 39 or number 12. Interesting, because we have 21 and 12, or 39, which is 12. So they're mirrored numbers or flipped. The sculpture. And we have choice. Interesting. Okay, so we have Mars in Libra. Seven is chariot energy. 7's faith, wisdom, reflection, understanding. So choice. All right. And then we have money. Sitting on this table with an empty chair. Money. The passports, 2 of them. Okay, and then we have this gravestone, 43, or number 7 again, 77. It's a master number. Trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom, trust of life, and trust of self. We have 22 with crossroads. Interesting. 22 is peacemaker. We have choice here with Libra. Okay, 22 is divinely guided relationships. 22 is healthy, energetic boundaries. It's also choice at the crossroads. We have impact. 26 or the number 8. Okay, more Leo energy coming through and all the sun energy. Also, 8 is star, which is Aquarius, which came through here. So heavy Leo, heavy Aquarius, Cancer, a Libra. I'm pulling through this reading. 74. So we have 8 and 2. Disintegration, stress level, requesting recognition. Oh my goodness. Rejection of others, control, authoritarianism, aggressiveness, becoming indispensable. Type 2, the helper emotional center between giving and receiving. We have the root chakra. Okay. Yeah. Forcing something into submission. Fearfulness, 24, conscious awakening, dependency on others, need for support, need for safety, recurrent doubt, need for stability, tendency to distrust. Type 6, the loyalist thinking center between mistrust and trust. 6, that is the Lovers and Devil, Gemini and Capricorn energy. 24, we have 23. Okay. 26. Interesting. All right. So we have 57 with 3. Fundamental injury, stress level, humiliation, denigration, disregard, dishonor, affront, disdain, and lowering. Type 3, the achiever, emotional center between appearance and authenticity, solar plexus energy. And then we have the parrot. Someone will gossip about all your secrets, which we don't take words literally, but birds do talk about communication. Okay, birds sometimes mimic, and they just sort of parrot what we're sort of saying. Okay, so let me sit here with this energy. You guys can skip ahead. Okay. Beautiful people, this could be your energy as well. Interesting, because I feel like for these readings, for some reason, even with the third one, even though I haven't done yet, it was coming through that it could be your energy or like the viewers. So I'm feeling a lot of viewers. I don't know what's going on. You apply to whomever, but my intention was a person on your mind. Okay, but Spirit's funny. What's going on here with this person? This person puts a lot of weight on what other people sort of see this person as, but this person has an inner leadership about them. It's very, 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 very strong. And this person could certainly be living in the limelight, okay? They could be famous. They could be very popular. They could just have that, that thing that comes naturally to them, even if they're not in the public eye. But I feel like this could be like a metaphor symbolizing something here that's like shaping this person and molding this person, or has been. Okay, so specifically if they are in the public eye or whatever, and have been. Okay, so that's their experience or whatever. But I feel like this person, where they put their weight of how they accept themselves, is based on external. It's not coming from the internal, and it's creating all sorts of challenges for this person. Now, I'm sneezy and wheezy, so I gotta blow my nose. Sorry, apologize. Sorry. Alrighty. I'm like surrounded by tissues. So, beautiful people. It's like, do you ever hear the saying, and I know I'm going to butcher it, like when we're young, it's like, I don't know exactly how it goes, but it's like we're trying to impress everyone. And then when we get a little older, it's like we're concerned that, what other people think and that sort of thing. And then when we're really old, it's like we realize nobody's even watching us. Okay, so even if people are watching us because we're in the limelight or whatever, it's like our innate value doesn't waver based on how many people or how other people are sort of treating us. So this person is on a journey of self-discovery that's from within. And This is requiring this person to flip how they've been engaged in the past in a way that's different and allow to loosen their grips, because I do feel like this person is beating some situation into submission. And they might be used to getting their own way, or that when I take action, I make things happen, or I'm used to succeeding. That's the sort of energy. This is very masculine energy. It doesn't have to be born male. I can really resonate with this energy. When I put my mind to something, it's going to happen, and I do it. I take action, and I don't give up, and it becomes a thing. Spirit is putting this person on a journey of this thing is not going to be beaten to submission. And so there's only one way through this painful situation, because I do feel like there's a lot of pain in trying to submit something. It's because there's a lot of fear that this thing will not approve or not go the way I want, or it's not doing what I need it to do when I need it to do it. No, it's not going to. And it's giving away our power to other people, situations, and circumstances. And if this person knew internally, by shifting their energy towards the true light that they do house within them, and they engage from this place, all of their suffering and challenge that they have would sort of disappear. And they would actually cultivate and develop that in which it is that they're wanting and seeking, which I think is approval, acceptance, and something to just accept this person. Because I do feel like this person feels like they're competing. They're competing with themselves, or the identity of self that's trying to win external. So right now, this person is feels like they're not getting the recognition, or they're like whatever they are getting back to them is like not enough, or it's not a true reflection they feel of what is fulfilling. And it's not, for a very good specific reason, because this person is being shown a different way so that they can connect to an inner knowing of who they are without external people. This is what this person is experiencing and having to truly understand and inner experience, with a full integration of this knowledge, not a superficial sort of getting there. So there needs to be sort of this transformation, this death of the self that is trying to seek acceptance or submit acceptance, or like coerce, force, manipulate energies to feel okay with themselves. And I think this person's heart's in a good place, because I do feel this person wants to be safe, loved, and feel comfort, accepted. But I don't know why this person puts themselves sort of in this energy. Maybe they have definitely it's an ego here with the solar plexus, but we also see the root chakra. And so it could be in both these lower chakras here, where we've developed a need for security with this root chakra. So there could be abandonment wounds here. And then we've developed this hyper egoic identity that makes us feel safe and secure, like everybody likes me, or I can sort of have an energy that allows other people to be in this way that makes me feel safe, or something like this. Okay, which is just an illusion. We can't make other people like us. Okay, yes, some people will like us, some people will dislike us, some people will be indifferent. That is all subjective, and it's all their opinion, all their experience, and their veil of where they're at. And so this person might really feel like when someone doesn't like them or approve of them, it's like they feel, I don't know, they feel like their power is gone, They feel less than, they feel more insignificant. And this person doesn't realize the impact they can actually have on other people, because they have an impact on people, but they're disarming themselves when they're too preoccupied and focused on the flip side of the coin, which is external validation and seeking and manipulating of energy rather than an internal focus of the direct light of being. So I feel like this person is being awakened to their truest essence of being okay with themselves, who they are, what they represent, and this true strength will shine really bright, and it will bring in exactly what it is that this person has been trying to force or submit, because I feel like this person is working on something. I don't know what it is, It's like nobody likes my songs, or this relationship, I'm not seen or understood by anyone here. It's like, well, not in that energy, no. It's kind of like, this is an analogy. It's like opening up a YouTube channel and then like trying to just do a bunch of videos that we think people out there are like mostly are going to then approve of and like. And it's like, until we learn, it's like, well, who cares? Because there's always going to be people who don't like it. It's like, do what it is that you love and that you feel is getting out there. And at that point, then you're going to bring in more authentic audience, Like there's a catering to others. There's trying to, again, beat into submission their situation, their circumstance, or people, or their whatever. And they feel empty. They feel not seen. They feel not understood. They don't feel supported. They might not even be getting, sort of something. Okay, so this could be like, I'm getting paid, but I still feel empty, or I'm still not seen, or I still feel not whole, And that would be because we still haven't connected. And so even when we get what it is that the ego thinks it wants, in this energy, it will never be fulfilled. And that's the whole point of it that we're not seeing, is like when we're on the flip side of the coin, in that egoic story, externally fulfilling that egoic identity, it will never be happy, and it will forever be on that sort of rat race. It's never going to feel where it could be at ease. And when we do the work of the other flip side of the coin, which is connect to the essence that is, and let go of an illusion that other people's opinions and other people's judgments could impact us in any way at all, then we truly have undone that belief, and we're truly liberated and free. And then we start to act differently, because we're no longer trying to put on the show for other people or to win them over. And it's sensed and felt, It's like desperate people are sensed and felt. People who are authentic and really don't give a rat's behind, that's sensed and felt. It's like, this is their truest nature. And it's not that they're like trying to put on a show of like, I don't care what people think. Of course we care what people think, but it's like, I cannot be anything other than who I am. And if who I am truly right here isn't approved and accepted, then that's not for me. And I'm okay with this. And there's power in that, And so I feel like this person is amidst this sort of experience in this journey. But I think there's a lot of discomfort. Sorry, blowing my nose. And I feel like there's something inauthentic about this person in their situation right now, because it's checking off someone else's box and saying what they think they need to do or say or be. I'm going to sneeze. And when we do what other people think that we need to be or say, we only get half the fulfillment or the accolades, It's never fully fulfilled, even if we pull it off, even if that person's like, okay, good job. It's like, yeah, but I wasn't truly being myself. And so I can never really get that recognition or the feel fully accepted, because if I'm acting in that energy, it's like I'm being approved and accepted for what I'm not, because I'm not fully who I am. And when I'm fully who I am and I'm approved and accepted, wow, like, wow, I'm just being me. Sneezy, wheezy, farty, whatever you are, doesn't matter. There's a lot here in trying to get a situation to flow. And Spirit is talking about this situation will flow once this switch is made. But we have to be conscious to make that switch and know that we're at this crossroads, or else we keep sort of pressing in the wrong direction and forcing and beating and submitting in the wrong direction. Now, I say wrong, there's no wrong, but the one full of resistance, pain, egos, identities, suffering, non-flow. And it is really from this fear of being approved, a need for safety, a need for acceptance, a need to be seen, a desire to control. That's fear. When we control, it's out of fear. And so we create this illusion, the identity does, that we have control, that I have some power. Okay, with all of this sun energy, with this divine masculine, this person has a belief that they have an ability to control by what they say and what they do. And that's false. Yes, you can say and do things, but saying and doing things in this situation is not ever going to change this situation. This situation is one in which is requiring this person to make the switch and lean into the authentic self, no matter how discomforting it seems, and trust that when they do this, they'll magnetize towards them that in which they're wanting. Smooth flow of, fame, popularity, acceptance, relationship, the control that they seek, or the reason they're needing the control, what they're trying to beat into submission here, will actually flow once that happens. But the minute, or when they start kind of doing this egoic need for control, manipulating things, it's actually creating the opposite. And so this person could certainly have an energy that they're losing hope in something. This isn't going to come together. I'm never going to be seen. I'm never going to be understood or accepted. And they're feeling discouraged. I'm not approved. And then they start to buy it. I'm not the singer. I'm not popular. I'm not loved. This person doesn't love me. I'll never have the relationship. Like, no, all of that is, again, another big lie. It's an illusion of the false self and the ego. And they'll forever sort of then go seek for something else or someone else to fulfill that with the false self, the need to be approved and accepted. No, so Spirit is talking about here. This person's dream isn't the thing that needs to change. This thing that they're involved with, situation, relationship, whatever, creative pursuit, is actually for them, but their own energy needs to engage differently, because how they get there is what's being called to get looked at. Yeah. So I do feel I'm missing something for pile 2 in regards to what is pile 2, the person they came here about. What is the truth pile 2 is not seeing or understanding? What is the great truth here about the person on pile 2's mind that I might be missing? So we have some heavy Venus energy here, you guys, and a heavy Sun energy, which is divine masculine, also Leo. So we have Taurus, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, yeah. We have Capricorn, Gemini, and some, Libra and Pisces here. So let's see. This is definitely a devilly energy here, you guys. Okay. This person craves some form of, look at this 3 again, Empress. This person really craves I don't know. I mean, we all crave to be loved and accepted, you know? There's a need for there to be a understanding of one's own abundance through a giving and receiving and a flow state of genuine acceptance, but without being in sun energy. Like, this is the opposite. The Empress is receptive, is open to flow. It doesn't need to chase, coerce, pound into submission. This isn't a ground and pound. We're not doing any martial arts here. and this person is used to this, you know? And when they don't, it's like a blow to their confidence, because it's like, I can't win this over. I can't. It's like, no, it's not because you're not good enough for this thing. It's because this isn't how you're going to win it over, because this lesson is all about seeing your true beauty from within. Nothing to do with your ability to manipulate energies through a masculine doership. Hermit in reverse. So we have Taurus, Libra, and Virgo energy. There's the moon, Cancer energy. Wow, major, major, major. The two wands in reverse. Temperance, Sagittarius energy. The Fool in reverse, Aquarius energy. And 4 Pentacles. Oopsie. And Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords. 3 swords in reverse. Okay. Yeah. I was really feeling root chakra trauma. Okay. With this need for control based out of fear. This is a 3 swords. I've been abandoned, or I need approval. I need acceptance, security. We all do, of course. We don't want to feel this way. But when we connect to the divine being that is within, we're okay and comfortable. And out there is sort of like an external fulfillment. So it feels good to be in a relationship, or it feels good to get approval above and beyond, but we don't feel that we need it. There's a new beginning here for this person. Only once they see the truth, only once they work through their pain, their abandonment, and their needs to be accepted and approved, because they're going about it by trying to submit. This person needs to do more reflecting, more shadow work. Okay, now again, shadow work is like working with mirages. If the mirage isn't there, then what's the shadow work good for? It's because once we understand that we've been lost in the mirage, that we had a belief that we had to do or be in a certain way, this is not true. It keeps us in a state of fog. We're not seeing clearly. And what aren't we seeing clearly? Our own cup is full, because we give to ourselves. We see our self-worth. We know our own abundance. It doesn't get handed to us. So this person is being called to cultivate this from within. This person feels like, with this crossroads here and this 2 of Wands in reverse, that whatever opportunity they're in, it's like it's not working. No, because you're trying to beat it into submission, and that's not how you're going to get there. You're going to have to trust and navigate with the intuition how to get there. And that is through a true acceptance of love of self and a trust. Okay, but this will allow you to find balance. I say you because I do feel this is your energy, but again, this person, to find balance, healing, or healing this 3 swords. This person is heavy in a masculine energy, I feel, and there's a need to be in the feminine energy. This is true balance, but we can't be completely in the feminine, but sometimes we need to experience the polarity so we know. And then there's this imbalance. And so if we've always lived in masculine, I'm a doer, I make things happen, I can have my will my way, and we truly believe that's to be a thing. When we're faced with the universe slapping us with reality, which is no, the universe has control, control is an illusion, just be receptive for this one, and we're still forcing our way. Because what happens if I don't get it, then I don't feel safe, and so I cling to it, I cling, and I try to attach to it, and I don't want to let go of it. Spirit saying, no. Receptive energy is trusting, letting the thing flow. It will work out, but you need to find the balance and heal this thing only through a true reflection. This person doesn't trust that this is for them and that they're going to have this beautiful thing manifest. This thing will manifest, this new beginning. Okay, I feel like a lot of you guys, this person that I'm reading for, it's either a relationship or this like creative pursuit. I don't know, in the public eye, or this like vision of like this dream that they have, to be seen or to be famous, or I don't know, pull something off the ground. So the truth of the matter is that the baggage of the pain, the belief that I'm not accepted and that I have to win people over, or I have to get them to approve of me for me to find some form of validation and approval or love, this is the thing that's going away. There is no doing. There's no need to win anyone over. There's no amount of things we can say or do that's going to change the situation. It's not about saying and doing and being, and we might still believe that, so we're still clinging to that idea. Then I got to do more, then I got to be more, then I got to, no. The more you do that, you're doubling down in that. There is something you're not seeing. You, the person I'm reading for, and that's their true beauty that's there, and it comes from the inside. Their cup is already flowing. And once they see it and connect with it, their actions will be different, more aligned with truth. Because right now what they're saying and doing is actually misaligned. And so the manifestations will be different. And when I'm centered, balanced, and I see this more clearly, now I say and do things that are more aligned with who I am. And now things manifest differently. But I still want to be right. And so I'm still going to cling to that, because when I let go, then it's like, ooh, I'm giving up control. Uh-oh, scary times. What's going to happen? People are going to laugh at me. People are going to disregard me. I'm going to become redundant, or I'm going to be less than, or fill in the blank. I don't like that feeling. And it's like a fight or flight. We don't like this feeling because in a younger point in time, we experience this feeling less than. And so this is the thing we're putting behind us, okay? Or this person. But they're navigating through this, and I think they're clinging still to that belief. And Spirit's saying, no, we're balancing the masculine and the feminine, the sun and the moon. And I do feel like maybe this person is like uncomfortable being by themselves. It's like always needing to be surrounded, It's like an antsy feeling when I'm by myself. So I'll constantly be in the limelight, or a need for people's approval or to cheer me on or something like this. And so I cling to those things. And Spirit's saying, no, come out of your comfort zone, explore yourself in solitude to the point where you become comfortable with it. It's all about being comfortable in our own energy, connecting to our essence, and then it sort of revealed itself to us. Then we truly find happiness, So there's that lesson. And then, like I said, the actual situation or circumstance that this person thinks isn't coming together because of their own doing. And it's like, no, it's actually trying to show you something first, and that this potential is there, that there is a chance or an opportunity or potential here that will reveal itself once we align, once we're sort of in the right energy. If we're not in the right energy, the opportunity doesn't reveal itself. That's what Spirit's saying. So however long we cling to what we think we know, the more we're sort of navigating, through these spheres and stuff. And it's very fearful to trust the divine and our intuition, to let go of control, and we might even develop like resentments and anger and bitterness if we're not approved or accepted, because the ego, again, is like, it doesn't want to be humiliated and doesn't want to let go. And so it's like, these people don't like me, or they're like, we build up these shadows, and it's like, no, that's just your fear talking. That has nothing to do with someone else's thing. Okay, so anyway, pile number 2. This is your reading. I hope this helped you. I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Gorgeous angels, pile number 3. You guys pick card 29 or 11 with seeing the true you. So we're looking at the person on your mind and what is the truth revealed that we still don't see or understand. about this person. Okay, now this person could be your own self, which seemed to be coming through the other two piles, I thought anyway. Okay, and this is seeing the true you, which could again be that, but I don't know. My intention is the person on your mind, okay, but it could be your own energy, which happens here on this channel very frequently. So it's your high self coming through, communicating something. But the only way to tap into this and know whether it's your pile is to use your intuition throughout this card layout, which you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this is your messaging or not. Okay, and I do have a timestamp to the direct message. Now, I am sick, and as I detox and sneeze and wheeze, you'll be hearing a lot of my wheezing and sneezing. So this card is seeing the true you. This is interesting because this was all in pile 2, essentially. You know, it's like the external world will reflect back to us our own perceptions. And it has nothing to do with the world out there externally, but however we intake it. And so if we're intaking someone else's point of view or opinions of us, and we're like carrying that as truth, we could do a lot of damage to ourselves if we have an understanding within ourselves that isn't accurate, that's more damaging. And it could go vice versa. We could have this inflated ego about it, you know. It's always distorted because it's always coming through the perception. So as long as we know we're the perceiver, and the perceiver is removed from the reality and the truth. And so we might be taking on someone else's opinion of us, you know, as truth, or a situation as truth. Meanwhile, it's just our perception. So let's see what's going on here. We have Cancer. Wow. So Cancer is all about the feelings. I'll let you guys read this card. Okay. So a lot of water here. Cancer's emotions. We picking up someone else's emotions as our own, maybe. And it's the 8th house, endings and beginnings, 32, or the number 5. Okay. 8th house. So the 8th house is merging. It's intimacy. It's taxes, loans, assets, property, joint ventures, goals. Yeah, partners as resources. Something about a partnership here. Okay, we have organization. And we have Mercury in Capricorn. 10. So 10 is all about completion, ends of cycles, transformation. So I am getting some Scorpio and some Leo at the 10. Okay. Endings and beginnings. So yeah, some Scorpio energy there as well with 10. Okay. Peace angel. Wow, look at that. So we have number 4. 4 is all about structure and foundations. And we have 3 flames. Getting larger and larger, taller and taller. Peace angel. Isn't this a beautiful card? So beautiful. Okay, and we have bad health, 31, or another 4. No, we don't take words literally. But there's all sorts of health, physical health, spiritual health. We could be really feeling really run down here, emotionally here, by someone else's sort of projection onto us, or our own perception of what's going on here. Okay, so what do we have? Widower. Wow, so we have endings and beginnings. A widower is at this gravestone. Some of you guys were called to pile 2. There might be a message there for you. And we have the revolving door. Oh my goodness, I could smell this room. It smells like cigar smoke. Someone might like to smoke a cigar. We have mushroom, 29. And look at this, 2929. What's that angel number? You might want to look that up. So 1111. Okay, some of you guys might be on a twin flame journey because 1111 is my twin flame number. But 11 is all about divine inspiration, synchronicity, and the encouragements to keep going. And we have child, 13, which is Scorpio energy. So child is all about, could be the inner child, could be something new, being birthed. It could be learning something. Okay, could be literally a child. We'll see. A little naive, maybe even. Let's see. The gift, wow, 14. So we have temperance energy, which is Sagittarius, and Hierophant energy, the gift. And we have triangulation. So there again, there's another sort of person up in the mix here. 28. So 29, 28. And we have abandonment, 15, devil energy, 6, which is Gemini and Capricorn. Okay, so feeling unsupported, cowardice, betrayal, defection, separation, feeling excluded. Type 6, the loyalist, thinking center between mistrust and trust. Okay. And we have stability, 33. So 33 is a master number. Reproduction. We have child here. Okay, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, joy, and harmony. So stability, which is the number 4. And this is legitimacy of authority, security concept, self-confidence, loyalty concept, mental calming, finding support. Type 6, the loyalist, thinking center between mistrust and trust. So 66 is a master number. Service is a source of joy, in which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom. So heavy devil and lovers here. Gemini, Capricorn energy. 10, 10. 21 or 3, conscious awakening, ego level, public image, needs to be admired, fear of failing, shallowness, self-sacrifice, external validation, compulsion to success. Type 3, the achiever, emotional center between appearing and authenticity. This is giving off a lot of pile number 2 vibes, you guys. 65 to emotional dependence, relationship trap, stress level, need for others is gaze, lives for others, reliance, self-neglect, low self-esteem, toxic relationship. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. Oh boy, crown, honor and respect will come to you. And we have the mermaids, 38 or 11. Lots of 11s here, 11, 11, 11. Okie dokie. Give me a minute to tap into this energy. The mermaid. Okay. Wow. Some of you guys might want to go watch Pal 2, okay? I don't know if it's the person on your mind or your own energy. This definitely feels like it could be you, but only you know, okay? Sometimes we get messages from high self in order for us to see clearer. Someone's seeing distorted here, and I do feel it's you, and I think this is how I'm going to read it. It's like this person puts a lot of weight on external, and it doesn't feel good because the external is like this revolving door. It comes and goes. It's up and down. It manifests, it unmanifests. It's there, it's not there. And every time it sort of goes, there's an abandonment. Every time it's like falls short, there's an abandonment, there's a disappointment. And then it reflects back to us some story. I'm not good enough, or a dropping of energy, or something in our emotional house that's pulled up and down, swinging. Okay, so I feel like some of you guys might have a toxic situation here. And the only reason it is toxic, okay, now toxic comes through as a word, doesn't have to be on that spectrum, but it's in order for me to channel because of our ways of engagement. We could be dealing with someone that's really reflecting this back to us, and it could be just as simple as this person is immature. Okay, it could be, but it could not be either. But I feel like it could be if this person is immature, and we could be doing a whole song and dance, and this person could just have their own experience, and it's totally carried on your back, you. if this is you that I'm reading, flip it if you need to. Okay? If you didn't come here for this message, don't care. Go somewhere else. So I feel like there is this heaviness, and we feel abandoned, okay? We feel let down, we feel disappointed, we feel used, and we feel at the mercy of someone that is either not providing the stability or security, or supporting our own desire, needs to be approved, seen, and fulfilled, admired, supported. There's an emotional dependency here. And so Spirit is really talking about what this person doesn't see is that they from within are going to find this empowerment, and that they from within are going to have to find how to take action to find and regulate this thing through an experience of inner connecting and inner sort of seeking and inner sort of stillness, and cultivate that in which they're still trying to achieve on the outside externally. Because I feel like there's a lot of manipulation of energy here. And if I can't get it this way, then I'm going to try to get it that way. But it's really the ego that really wants to attain that validation, that proof, and that wants to scratch that itch and fill that thing, because it feels really let down and not good. And so the projection here is that this situation or this person, because a lot of you guys are dealing with a person or a relationship that seems very disappointing. And like I said, maybe it's an immature person. Maybe this is like really, really new to us, and it's like I feel really betrayed, or I feel like we might be in a separation from this person, or let down, or disappointed, or not seen, not understood. And this isn't about supporting a narcissistic empath connection. Okay, but this is definitely someone who is in their feels and goes about engaging in a relationship in one way, and someone who is maybe shut down or engaged in a different way, or fairly immature because they're inexperienced, or just they're not connected to their emotions and they engage in a different way. How do we find peace? How do we find peace? Okay, now we could just say, well, we just go and don't deal with someone like this, right? We could say this. And if you can, then go ahead. Then the reading's finished. Goodbye. For this pile can't just go away. They can't just leave. They're having to resolve this. Why? Because it's all about the inner light and the inner work. We get reflected an experience with someone or something to show us something about self. Until that's seen or understood, we're in a revolving door in the matrix, having the same experience, different people, or revolving door, same experience with the same person. Why won't it go away? It's not. You can leave as many times as you want, and you're going to come right back to this thing. Okay? Different person, same experience, or same person. Until what? Until we understand, why am I experiencing this ping pong of emotions? Okay, so this is all about stabilizing ourselves, getting in this regulated energy of emotional self-mastery without an emotional dependency on another to provide us with some sort of fulfillment, a compulsion and a need and a desire for an external person to validate and support us. And then I'll feel better. It's always going to be pushed out. This person will say this or do this, and then I'll feel better. And then they do that, or they don't, to highlight this thing. But then they do that, and then the ego says, okay, now if they do this and do that, then I'll feel better. And then they do that. Okay, then if they do this, and it keeps moving the goalpost, because we always are wanting this form of stability and security. And so even at my worst, or even in the worst sort of circumstances, will I be secure? Will I be approved? It's like, no. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. And what Spirit's saying is, Spirit doesn't want you regulating yourself based on external people, whether they're here one moment or not, whether they're here for a ham sandwich or not. It doesn't matter. what's going to matter is the consistency and the stability and the self-confidence of your own inner light that's secured, balanced, and connected to the essence of who you are. That's the stability that you're being called to find here. And then all of this highs and lows and this revolving door of experience will sort of go away. And so why did we experience a poor experience here? Maybe a massive loss or an ending, or feeling really, really sort of, I don't know, like very, very, very low here, spiritually, physically sick. We could be mentally sort of exhausted, drained. And so something's being cultivated here, you guys. Okay, but this is through a persistent sort of understanding that we'll get there and that this might be new to us. And as long as we're sort of conscious and considering that maybe we don't know for sure the truth, and maybe we consider that we could be really heavily projecting onto others what we think is truth, but it's really just our perception and our pains and our emotional dependency that's attributing weight and stuff on situations. I feel like there's an energy here that you can't walk away with this revolving door. You keep being led to the same sort of experience or the same situation, and maybe you want to. It's like this mermaid has no legs, and her legs are kind of coming out now. The mermaid, but this one has legs under her, I don't know, looks like an octopus. Okay, and then this crown. Oh, when we are empowered, we can empower ourselves to take action. Walk away if we need to. I feel like we don't feel empowered. We feel we can't walk away. We feel we keep coming back, and Spirit saying, yeah, you're not really in the inner knowing just yet to have the choice to walk away. Now, if you can, go ahead. Then this isn't your reading, and now you're healed, and now you don't got to deal with a narcissist. Goodbye. Okay, I'm talking about for those who are seriously on this journey of self-discovery and undoing this ping pong of external validation and healing of abandonment and manipulating energies and connecting to the truest essence of who you truly are. Because underneath all of this, once you connect to your inner essence and see your beauty, because there's a beautiful energy under here, someone who is giving, compassionate, loving, kind. Okay, but right now we're driven by the ego to attain. And so we're giving out of a condition to be needed or approved or accepted, or there's this conditional love that's coming through from you. And so you're learning about accepting without manipulating energies and feeling okay to not be validated and attain something from someone else that's going to then support your value. So it might be very difficult because we might be overly possessive, highly emotionally invested. We might ignore our own needs in order to, overcompensate or fill someone else's. And then when it doesn't compensate or return back to us, we feel disappointed or let down or angry or resentful. This toxicity, and it's coming from both sides. It's not that this person's a narcissist. They don't care. Look at me giving and giving and giving and giving, and I keep giving and whatever, and they just keep taking and taking and taking. There's two sides to this equation, and no side is heavier than the other just because one sounds good and one sounds bad. One's taking and one's giving. It's like, no, but both are traumatized. Both are equally traumatized. One can't stop giving. One's trying to prove something and give with condition, and the other one's taking because the other one is too fearful to allow themselves to just be. And so there's these like energies here. Okay, so this sort of way of engagement is going to be seen and understood by you, if this is your energy, so that we can heal this once and for all. This is the remedy of the bad health. This is what's being cultivated so it could be sustainable love, sustainable abundance, sustainable, not fluctuating, not coming and going, not breadcrumbing, okay, and not at our own self-neglect, because I feel like there's a betrayal of self in order to achieve, attain, desire, and seek something that is always sort of pushed out. even if we get it, it's still not fulfilling and it'll still be pushed out because we still haven't healed. And so this is why it doesn't come and doesn't align. It's like, this will be healed. God damn it. This will be healed. It has to be healed because it's time. It's time for this inner peace. It's time for us to resolve this and find this emotional balance within self and regulate self. Someone else isn't going to regulate you. Stability is found within, and then situations that are up or down or coming or going or toxic or not, it won't matter. And we will have the ability to walk wherever we want to and control ourselves in a way that allows us to feel free and independent. Now, control is just an illusion anyway, but we won't feel like we're sort of held hostage or at the mercy of cycles or like repeats here, or being led to situations that we've already sort of seemed to have experienced. But if we didn't learn the lesson, Spirit's saying, well, then it's just going to keep being shown to you until you see it. And so we don't feel supported. We don't feel secure. We don't feel any of that from the outside world at this time. And that's okay. This is the reason why. Spirit doesn't want to give you security from the outside world at this time. If you resonate with this pile, because this is all about you finding your own stability and security from the light within, your own peace, your own samadhi, your own satori, whatever you want to call it, your own centered light. Okay, so there is no need to overgive. There's no need to win anyone over, because I feel this is an overgiver pile. Let's see, Spirit, what do we need to know about this person? What am I missing here? What is the truth revealed about pile 3's person? Person I'm connected to here. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Three of Swords in reverse. That was showing up for pile 2. I do feel that this similar energy, except where pile 2 is like beating into submission, masculine energy. I feel like this one's more wounded feminine, overgiving, wanting to give and love and saying, how could this be wrong? I'm just going to give and I'm going to love. And it's like, yeah, but we're giving and loving from a conditional place, a wound, seeking, and it's not coming. And because we're dealing with someone who does not know how to give and love because they're also in pain. Okay, Hangman. Yeah, and then the 6 Wands in reverse. So ego death, and we're not getting what we want or what the ego wants. Not being seen. Okay, this is this public image. It's in the reverse. I'm not being seen. I'm not be given what I want, the clout, the rewards, the love, the security, the stability, the commitment. Like, no. Got to see it differently, okay? It's not about what someone's giving you and not giving you. That's not what this is about. This is about enlightenment and seeing something differently, that our emotions don't need to be pulled and swayed externally, that our own perceptions is what's creating this tension and this pain and the suffering. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry, I need something to drink. So that's this dependency. But this is emotional. This pentacle could be financial, but I see this as the 3D matrix world. We're dependent on relationship or other to bring me a sense of security and stability. Pay my bill or make me feel secure, or it's like, no one's going to do this for you no more. Okay, so 6 Swords in reverse. Yeah, stuck there. Feel, again, no legs. I can't move. I feel stuck. This person's holding me hostage. I can't get away. Okay, that's just a perception. The Hermit in reverse. I need to do the shadow work and also to get comfortable. Interesting, because this was in the same spot for pile 2. A need to be okay in solitude, sitting with self, with the discomfort of self. If we're not comfortable with self, we feel uncomfortable. We need people around us. We need a relationship. We need another person to validate and make us feel secure. That's the wound talking. This wound needs to be healed. There's a heavy wound with this pile here. Heavy dependency on relationship and security from other. Okay, Queen of Cups in reverse. So conditional love. Conditional love. We're learning about unconditional love, emotions unregulated here, very highly emotional, swinging on a pendulum, very dependent. If this person comes or goes, makes me feel happy or sad. When I feel stuck, or why am I stuck here and I can't move on from this person? Because Spirit keeps saying, you got to get comfortable with the discomfort. You got to heal this 3 swords. Now, you don't got to do anything if you want to sit in discomfort and suffering. When we suffer enough, we have no choice but to do the hermit's journey, because suffering is unbearable. Yeah, 7 swords. No, 8 swords. Sorry, same difference. It's still it's an untruth. It's a seeing something that is not true necessarily, that we believe so much so that keeps us in a prison. Right now, we have a belief that is not true through a perception of our own. Now, we have no one to blame but self. And so if we believe a lie, we start to act in the lie. It's like if I start to envision something that's not true, it's like a dream, and I start, having these dreams and I'm fighting aliens and robots, then I start to act that way. And no one else sees those robots. No one else sees those nightmares, but I'm acting in this way. And so right now we're living in reality with a dream, and that's how we're acting. And Spirit's saying, no, let's wake up so that we can deal with reality in the present moment, because then we'll have more movement, we'll have more balance, we'll have more clarity. But the fears are getting the best of us, and so we're only seeing what we're perceiving, and we're supporting it. We support this because the wound wants to support that, because it's trying to protect itself, and it really wants to heal this thing. Knight of Pentacles. And look at the poppies. Poppies talk about the past. Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady. A manifestation. So, beautiful people, whatever you're experiencing, I say you again because I do feel this is you. There is this progress, okay? Whether we see the progress or don't see the progress, there is progress. It is slow, stuck at times. It's very challenging. Spirit is talking about the more we suffer, the more we start to feel sort of desperate and do things and have to do things in order to try things differently. We can only continue to do things the same way and lose, and same way and lose, like this revolving door. Repeat, and get the same results and lose before we start to understand and see things differently. Okay, we got to begin to understand differently. And what are we understanding differently? Our own limitations, our own perceptions, our own thoughts, our own beliefs are getting in the way. It's getting in the way of how we engage. Our emotions aren't regulated. They're pulled by external circumstances. I'm only happy when this external person or situation goes this way. And when it goes that way, oh boy, look out. I'm like on my deathbed. I feel rejected. I feel down. I feel disappointed. We're very codependent here. A high emotional dependency on other person. Okay, this is coming from the wound. The wounded child. Okay, the inner child is crying right now. It wants to be seen and nurtured. The only person that could nurture this inner child is you, if this is your pile. Nobody else can do this. They might scratch the itch a little. They might distract this child and take it to, the fair for the evening. Things go okay, and the inner child might be content. But at night, when you're trying to put it to sleep, the only person that's always with this child is going to be the parent, right? You are the parent of this inner child. You are the one, despite the distraction in the external world. So you must connect with that inner child. And not through way of external distraction, putting the TV on and leaving the child, but through sitting there and really understanding this child. What is this child saying? Right now, your inner child, or whoever's I'm reading, is seeking some form of stability, which has to come from you, by the way, not out there. Approval, which has to come from you, by the way, of being seen and understood. An unconditional love, which has to come from you, by the way, so it could feel supported. And when this comes, it will no longer feel stuck. It will no longer be dependent. It will no longer feel like it can't, move. Because right now I feel this person feels they can't move. They feel stuck to a situation, relationship, circumstance that is challenging to them. And they might be sort of spinning their wheels, trying to find a different angle to give or a different way to get approval. Or no, 8 swords, we're still looking under the same rocks. And it's saying, don't look under rocks, look up at the sky. Whatever you're doing is not working. It's not healing this thing. And so there's prolonged suffering here. Don't need to suffer here no more. So if you resonate with this ping pong of emotion being pulled to and fro, overly emotional, Spirit is saying it's time for us to deal with the inner child directly and cultivate this. Okay? And so I feel like Spirit's also saying with this mushroom, aside from toxic connection, I'm feeling interconnectedness, because I do feel like your situation is very interconnected to your energy. And when you have a more enlightened perspective, things will move again. Things will manifest in the 3D. But we have to understand our own shadow. And we have to have this ego death. What's the ego? The ego is the identity that's this inner child's created, that is trying to seek approval by overgiving or putting on a song and dance and chasing another's approval in order for it to feel seen and approved. And it's always like never enough, you know? It will never be enough because the ego can't have enough. So right now it's not giving in order to deal with this ego death, the High Priestess. So this is all intuitive, and this is also, things aren't being revealed to us. It's like, maybe we've always experienced, you know, like being approved or seen or accepted in some way. And now it's like, whoa, what am I not seeing? What am I not understanding? It's like, you got to tie into your intuition to connect to the essence of who you are in this inner child and identify what's creating this. What's creating this is a deep wound. Okay. And so the seeking of the stability, I feel we might be thinking we need external stability, like an external person to be reliable or stable. Meanwhile, it's like, no, you're going to be this reliable, stable person. You're the one. Because right now, your inner child can't find this within you, and it's trying to seek it. Okay? Abandonment wound and feeling unsupported. So once you support yourself, how can you feel unsupported? Once you give love to yourself, how can you feel a lack of love? Everything in which you feel you're lacking, you must give to the inner child with love, with compassion, with grace, not with resentment, not with anger, not with a desire for it to change already or heal already, because then we're putting on this energy. We're just doing it just for a quick fix. No, this child needs love, acceptance, nurturance, understanding, kindness, compassion. And so we're giving externally. Take that giving and give it to self tenfold, because then I feel like we're going to find that independence. Okay, and then we're going to find our legs, or sea legs, if you will, so that we can navigate our emotions with empowerment, because the emotions are always going to come. But when we're sort of unable to regulate them, we feel to and fro. So we're growing sea legs so we can regulate our emotions. Okay, this is all about emotional mastery, being centered, finding our inner light and our inner peace. So beautiful angels, this is your reading. I know this probably wasn't the person. Maybe your person's in another pile. Maybe this is all about the higher self coming through for all of us. I don't know. But this was your message. I love you very much. Thank you for listening to me today. And I hope you guys find what you're looking for within yourself, okay? I know it's there. And it's only a matter of seeing and connecting to it. Okay? So, beautiful angel, I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.